Welcome to the Cryptosphere. This is Cryptogenic coming at you. Today is Valentine's Day, Monday, February 14th at about 12:45 p.m. here in Northern California. And I'd like to wish you and your loved one, your significant other, a happy Valentine's Day. And may you experience a breakthrough of love and intimacy in this season like you've never experienced before. You know, I've been thinking about this a lot, and what I begin to realize is that my relationship with my wife, by the way, my name is Benjamin. I call myself Cryptogenic for the purposes of this channel, but my name is actually Benjamin Robinson. My wife, Sunny, she and I have been married for 21 years. Valentine's Day is always a special day for us because it was on Valentine's Day, the year 2000. I took her out. I wanted to take her to, we were living in Southern California at the time. I wanted to take her to the nicest restaurant in LA. I couldn't Google it. There was no Google at the time, but I asked around and I discovered that the nicest restaurant in Los Angeles at that time was in the Biltmore Hotel, I believe it was. And it was a fancy restaurant, I can't even remember the name of the restaurant. So I take her there. I make reservations. I take her there for Valentine's Day. We were both grad school students. I was broke as I didn't have two nickels to rub together. I had a broke down car that I drove her there in. But what little money I did have, I just splurged on her. I took her out and bought her a nice dress, and I bought her a nice necklace and some earrings and some shoes and dressed her up really nicely. And we walk into this restaurant and they hand her a beautiful rose, a long stem red rose. And we sit down. And I look at the menu, and immediately I'm thinking, oh, my Lord Jesus, what am I going to do? Because the menu was like $160. That was like the Valentine's menu. But it was a 5-course meal for two. So we ordered that. And we had the champagne and the, steak and lobster or whatever it was. And we get to the end of the meal, and the waiter comes over to the table, and he goes, would you like anything else? And we said, no, we're fine. And he said, okay, do you have any parking to be validated? And I said, yes. I handed him the ticket because I was relieved. When we pulled in, it said it was going to be $15 every 15 minutes. So I'm thinking it's going to cost, parking itself is going to cost $100. He validates our parking, and he comes over to the table and says, all right, have a great evening. Happy Valentine's Day to the both of you. And I said, we didn't get the check. And he goes, oh, no, your check's already taken care of. I said, no, check's not taken care of. Because I haven't taken care of it. He goes, no, your check is already taken care of. And I said, well, can you please go confirm that? Because I'm thinking, as soon as we step outside this door, I'm going to get tackled and arrested. He comes back and he says, I just checked with my manager. Somebody came and signed for your bill. You two have a wonderful evening. And so we were both just blown away. To this day, we have no idea who did that, how that happened, or why. We were so blown away by it. I ended up paying $5 for parking that night. It was surreal. It was one of the most amazing things. And this is kind of the height of our romance in terms of the feelings. The feelings associated with love, they're a lot like a bull run in the crypto market. But there's also bear markets in any love relationship. And my wife and I had our bear market from basically the moment we got married, the first 2 years. We like to say the first 2 years of our marriage were hell, and then maybe the next 2 to 3 years were like purgatory. And by year 10, we finally made it to the earth. I could say we're probably we're not in heaven yet, but we're definitely in the sky somewhere. Love is hard. And I know we like to think that the trend line should just go up and to the right continuously, but that's not how love goes. There's hard times in love, times in which you think you might have made a mistake, times in which you're so hurt and offended you don't know how you're going to possibly make it through this, times in which you're wondering if you have the strength. You've gone through so many things, so many disappointments, so many struggles, so much hardship that you're wondering if you can even survive another one. You hit your breaking point in love where you just feel like, I can't do this another day. You know, what makes love successful is simply the decision to hold through the bear market. I'm just going to hold. And so my wife and I, we've been married 21 years, and I can't say that we've done it well. I can't say that we figured everything out. I can't say that we haven't had sometimes horrible conflicts. But what I can say is that we've held. We've held. We've learned to hodl through every bear market. Why? Because marriage, our intimacy with one another is an asset that we believe is highly valuable. And that what happens in a bear market is that the forces around you are trying to convince you that the value is gone, that you've been sold a bill of goods. I've worked with a lot of couples in my life. You know what has interested me the most? I've done a lot of coaching with a lot of couples, more than 200. As an ordained minister, I've performed more than 200 weddings, done premarital counseling with all of those couples. I've also done a lot of marital couples with hundreds of other couples whom I haven't married. Some folks I've walked through their divorces with them. Other folks I've walked them through first and second marriages. You know, the thing that blows me away, the thing that it never ceases to amaze me is that oftentimes when I've walked with a couple, some of the couples that I thought, there's no way they're going to make it through this, they ended up making it. And other couples, I thought to myself, this is not a big deal. They can make it through this. And they ended up getting a divorce. You know what I discovered? Is that the only difference between the one couple and the other couple is the one couple simply decided to hold. We don't get it. We don't understand. We haven't resolved this. We haven't fixed this, but we're going to hold. We're going to hold. And all of those couples that just held through, I've seen them go down, 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 down. It's like watching the market crash. It's like looking at the Bitcoin chart and it's dropped 80%. All of your favorite, most valuable assets just crashed right through the floor. Some of them dumped 90% or more. That's what happened to these marriages. And then all of a sudden they held through. Some of them held through a multi-year bear market. And then all of a sudden there was a reversal. There was an absorption of all of the bearish pressure. And then a new bull run would begin. And it would just begin to climb and climb and climb and climb. One particular couple, I was able to coach them through a 3-month terrible ordeal in their relationship in which they separated. Watched them come back together, which was amazing. Out of that came a business idea. And I was able to walk with them through that and the launch of that business. And it became successful. One restaurant turned into a chain of restaurants. And then over a few year period, there was a successful exit. I mean, just amazing. But the only decision they made was to hold. Just to hold. Not to give up. So on this Valentine's Day, I want to speak to some of you that might be discouraged in your relationships, in your marriage. And I'm not saying that every relationship is good. I'm not, there's some stuff that I'm not saying that you got to stay. I'm not saying that across the board staying is the best policy. Okay? I'm not saying that that's right for everybody. But what I have seen and what I've experienced is that in so many situations, I dare say most, the best decision is just to hold. And to use the bear market to accumulate more knowledge. And this is what my wife and I have done over the years. In every bear market we've experienced in our marriage, we go to seminars, we go to workshops, we go see therapists, we hire coaches, we've done everything. We've gone through the fire, but we look back at all of those dips and say they were so valuable because we accumulated so much knowledge in that dip. And so much of what I do with couples comes from what I've learned in the dip, what I've learned in some bear market in my own marriage. And what that does is it builds confidence. It builds the confidence that, yeah, there'll be more bear markets to come, but I can make it. We can make it. We can hold. We can hold the line. And if we do hold, the next bull run is coming. And the next bull run will take us higher than we've gone before. And looking at this Bitcoin chart, I mean, this is kind of like my marriage, except my marriage is way over here in 2000. But, you know, it goes up and it dips and it goes up and it dips and goes way up and then it comes down and then goes way up and then it comes way down. But the thing I look back at and see is that there wasn't a dip ever that took us back to ground zero. I mean, the dip of 2001 might have taken us back halfway, but it didn't take us all the way back to ground zero. There hasn't been a dip that takes us back to ground zero. There's always levels of support. Always. So, happy Valentine's Day to you and yours. Quick market update before I close this video. Looking at this Bitcoin weekly chart, as I said in my last video last week, this candle right here is a shooting star. It closed as a shooting star. Tried to break above this line of resistance, but it was nothing but a wick. Shooting star, bearish reversal of a bullish trend. And sure enough, this next candle is not even getting it above the bottom level of resistance, although we do have 6 days and 3 hours left to go in this candle. We'll see what happens. Maybe this candle starts to come all the way up and touch this line. I doubt it. I think we're going to see a few more bearish candles that are going to come down and at least touch this line. We might even get enough rapid capitulation to get us down to this area here. But I believe that that is going to be the final shakeout before we start to move out of here and move up and beyond towards our next all-time high. That's all I got for you today. Happy Valentine's Day to you and yours. Remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a coach. It's your game. Play it at your level. But push yourself to the next level. That's all I got to say. Do me a favor and hit the like button, subscribe, leave me a comment if you don't mind. I appreciate all of that stuff. But remember, above all, to make it your aim to sleep in peace every night, to wake in joy every morning, and to walk in love every day. And you do that not just by pursuing crypto riches, but by pursuing relational intimacy and not allowing your pursuit of crypto riches to rob you of the true riches of love, of family, and of life. God bless each and every one of you. This is Cryptogenic signing out.